Welcome, dreamers of the deep, nighttime naturalists, and all who wander the quiet pathways of the body. You found the biology of slumber, where science softens into sleep. Tonight, we'll drift like oxygen molecules through the winding rivers of your veins, float past the silent scaffolding of your bones, and tiptoe through the moonlit forests of your nervous system. Human anatomy and physiology awaits but gently, like cells dividing in slow motion. Don't worry, this lesson moves at the pace of a resting heartbeat, though I do hope it's just interesting enough to follow, but not so fascinating it keeps you awake. If you're listening from some corner of the world where the stars are out, tell us where and when you're drifting off in the comments below. And if you'd like more sleepy science, consider subscribing. The door to this midnight classroom is always open now. Shall we begin where all life does? Picture, if you will, the very first whisper of a single cell dividing in the darkness. The human body exists in quiet perfection, a masterpiece of biological engineering that functions with effortless precision. Even as you listen now, your body maintains its delicate equilibrium without conscious direction. There is no need for you to command your heart to beat or your lungs to breathe. These essential processes continue automatically, like the steady turning of the tides. Let us begin our exploration at the most fundamental level, where atoms combine to form the molecules that build our cellular structures. These microscopic building blocks come together in perfect harmony, creating the foundation for all bodily systems. The beauty lies in their simplicity, just a few basic elements, combining in infinite variations to create the complexity of life itself. Cells emerge from these molecular foundations, each one a self-contained universe of activity. Imagine trillions of these microscopic units working in silent coordination throughout your body right now. Some contract rhythmically in your heart, muscle, others carry oxygen through your bloodstream, while many more form protective barriers along your skin and internal organs. Their functions vary tremendously, yet all operate under the same principles of cellular biology. When cells of similar purpose gather together, they form tissues, the next level of organization in our bodily hierarchy. Muscle tissue contracts with gentle precision. Nervous tissue transmits electrical impulses like soft whispers, and connective tissue provides structure like the beams of a quiet cathedral. Each tissue type performs its role without fanfare, contributing to the greater whole. These tissues then organize themselves into organs, the more familiar structures we recognize as heart, lungs, liver, and brain. But even these seemingly solid organs are actually intricate networks of tissues working in concert. Your heart is not just a pump, but a carefully coordinated system of muscle, nerve, and connective tissues. Your lungs are not simply air sacs, but delicate branching structures where oxygen silently crosses into your bloodstream. The organs themselves form systems that maintain your body's constant equilibrium. The circulatory system moves blood like a slow river through your body's channels. The nervous system communicates with electrical impulses as soft as distant thunder. The digestive system breaks down nutrients with methodical patience. All operate continuously, whether you're awake to notice them or peacefully asleep. This brings us to the concept of homeostasis, the body's remarkable ability to maintain stable internal conditions despite external changes. like a skilled captain adjusting the sails to keep a steady course. Your body makes countless microscopic adjustments every moment. When you become slightly too warm, tiny blood vessels near your skin dilate to release heat. If your blood sugar dips, stored reserves are quietly mobilized. These adjustments happen automatically, requiring no conscious thought on your part. Consider your body temperature, maintained within a fraction of a degree despite changing environments. In cold weather, muscles may produce small shivers to generate warmth, while blood vessels constrict to conserve heat. In warmth, sweat glands activate to cool the skin through evaporation. These responses are measured and precise, never dramatic or abrupt. The same delicate balance applies to your body's fluid levels, where kidneys carefully regulate water and mineral content. They filter your blood continuously, retaining what's needed and eliminating excess with quiet efficiency. Even your breathing rate adjusts automatically, slowing during rest, increasing gently during activity, to maintain optimal oxygen and carbon dioxide levels in your blood. At this very moment, as you listen or perhaps begin to drift toward sleep, your body continues its silent work. Cells divide to replace those that have completed their lifespan. Proteins are synthesized to repair microscopic damage. Immune cells patrol for potential threats. All occurs without your conscious direction, a symphony of biological processes playing its endless movement. The beauty of this system lies in its interconnected nature. The respiratory system provides oxygen that the circulatory system delivers to cells that the digestive system has nourished. Waste products from cellular metabolism are carried away by the same bloodstream to be processed and eliminated. No single system operates in isolation. Each depends on the others in a continuous cycle of mutual support. As we continue our exploration of human anatomy and physiology, remember that no single detail exists alone. Each structure we examine, from the smallest cellular component to the largest organ system, functions as part of this greater whole. There is comfort in this understanding that your body knows precisely what to do, maintaining its careful balance, whether you're actively learning or peacefully resting. For now, let this knowledge settle gently in your mind. There is no need to memorize every detail or grasp every concept immediately. Learning about the body, like all natural processes, happens best when allowed to unfold gradually as we move forward to explore the skeletal system in our next section. You may simply rest in the awareness that your bones, like every other part of you, are alive with activity, even in stillness. But that is a topic for another time. For now, there is only this moment, this breath, this quiet appreciation for the miraculous biological processes that sustain you effortlessly, whether you choose to continue listening or gently surrender. To sleep, your body will continue its silent work, maintaining the perfect balance that is your natural state. Beneath the soft layers of muscle and skin lies the body's enduring framework, not a rigid, lifeless structure, but a living, dynamic system that quietly reshapes itself throughout your lifetime. Your bones are far more than mere structural supports. They are active, metabolically vibrant tissues engaged in constant, subtle transformation. Even now, as you rest, microscopic changes are occurring within them, a slow dance of creation and renewal that has continued since before your birth. The human skeleton begins its formation in the womb as flexible cartilage, gradually transforming through a process as methodical as it is miraculous. By adulthood, this framework consists of 206 individual bones, each perfectly shaped to fulfill its unique role. Yet despite their apparent solidity, bones are approximately 1/3 living tissue, continually rebuilding themselves in response to the demands placed upon them. This remarkable quality allows fractures to heal, structures to strengthen with use, and minerals to be stored and released as needed. Consider the long bones of your arms and legs. Their hollow design provides both strength and lightness, an elegant solution to the challenge of mobility. The outer cortical bone forms a dense, protective shell, while the inner trabecular bone resembles a delicate honeycomb, its lattice-like structure providing surprising resilience. This architectural marvel achieves what human engineers still strive to replicate: maximum strength with minimal weight. Within these bones lies a hidden world of activity. The marrow, nestled safely in bone cavities, serves as the body's most prolific blood cell factory. Here, stem cells quietly differentiate into red blood cells that will carry oxygen, white blood cells that will defend against infection, and platelets that will facilitate clotting. Approximately 500 billion blood cells emerge from this unassuming tissue each day, a continuous vital production that occurs entirely without conscious direction. Bones serve as the body's mineral reservoir, particularly for calcium and phosphorus. When blood levels of these crucial minerals dip slightly, parathyroid hormone signals osteoclasts, specialized bone cells, to gently release stored minerals into the bloodstream. Conversely, when mineral levels rise, osteoblasts work to incorporate them back into bone tissue. This careful balancing act occurs continuously, maintaining not just skeletal strength, but the proper functioning of nerves and muscles throughout the body. The skeletal system's protective role is equally impressive. Your rib cage forms a flexible enclosure for heart and lungs, expanding subtly with each breath while shielding delicate tissues. The vertebrae stack in a graceful curve, protecting the spinal cord while allowing fluid movement. Even the skull's fused plates provide both protection for the brain and anchor points for facial muscles, all while maintaining an elegant symmetry. Joints represent another marvel of biological engineering. Where bones meet, cartilage provides a smooth, low-friction surface, while synovial fluid acts as nature's perfect lubricant. This combination allows movement so fluid we rarely notice it. The effortless bending of a knee, the smooth rotation of a shoulder. These connections between bones are maintained by ligaments, strong yet flexible bands of connective tissue that limit movement just enough to prevent damage while permitting necessary motion. What makes bone tissue truly extraordinary is its capacity for self-renewal. Through a process called remodeling, old bone tissue is continuously broken down and replaced with new material. This means that over about 7 to 10 years, your entire skeleton gradually replaces itself, like a city quietly rebuilding its infrastructure while maintaining all essential functions. This remodeling responds to mechanical stresses, bones becoming denser in areas subjected to regular pressure and losing mass where stresses decrease. The skeletal system also plays an unexpected role in endocrine regulation. Bone cells produce osteocalcin, a hormone that influences glucose metabolism and fat deposition. They also release fibroblast growth factor 23, which helps regulate phosphate levels. These discoveries reveal bones as active participants in the body's chemical communication network, not merely passive structural elements. As you rest now, consider the quiet activity within your bones. Stem cells differentiate in marrow cavities. Minerals exchange between bone and blood. Microscopic repairs mend tiny stress fractures. All this occurs without conscious effort, a testament to the body's innate wisdom. Your skeleton is not the rigid, unchanging structure it may appear, but a living, responsive system that has supported you from your first steps to this present moment of repose. In the gentle darkness behind closed eyelids, you might imagine this internal architecture not as dry textbook diagrams, but as the living, breathing reality it truly is. Each bone perfectly shaped by evolution and personal experience, each joint moving with silent precision, the entire system working in harmony with muscles, nerves, and blood vessels to create the graceful movement we often take for granted. As we prepare to explore the muscular system in our next section, remember that bones never work in isolation. They provide the levers that muscles move, the protection that keeps organs safe, the mineral reserves that maintain physiological balance. But for now, there is only this moment of quiet appreciation for the enduring, adaptable framework that carries you through life. Strong yet flexible, constant yet changing, silent yet alive with activity. Whether you continue listening or drift into sleep, your skeletal system will continue its quiet work of support and renewal, as it has every moment of your life. There exists within you a silent network of living machinery, a collection of specialized tissues that transform chemical energy into graceful motion. Your muscles work continuously, whether you're lifting a heavy object or simply breathing in your sleep. They require no conscious direction to perform their essential functions, operating instead on automatic rhythms established by your nervous system. Muscle tissue comes in 3 distinct forms, each perfectly adapted to its particular role. Skeletal muscles attached to bones and create voluntary movement. Cardiac muscle forms the walls of your heart, contracting with tireless consistency. Smooth muscle lines your blood vessels and hollow organs, regulating flow and pressure without any need for conscious control. Though they differ in structure and function, all share the same fundamental ability to contract, to shorten, and generate force when stimulated. Skeletal muscles appear striped under magnification, giving them their alternate name, muscle. These stripes result from perfectly aligned protein filaments that slide past each other during contraction. Each muscle fiber contains thousands of these microscopic contractile units, all working in unison. When you decide to move, turn a page, or shift position, motor neurons deliver electrical signals that trigger this sliding filament mechanism. The process requires calcium ions and energy from ATP molecules, yet occurs smoothly enough that we rarely consider its complexity. Your posture right now, whether sitting or lying down, is maintained by partial contractions called muscle tone. This constant low-level activity prevents collapse while conserving energy. Even in sleep, certain muscles remain slightly engaged to keep you from rolling out of bed. The body achieves this balance through delicate neurological feedback, adjusting tension automatically in response to changing positions. Cardiac muscle operates on a different rhythm, the steady, involuntary beat that circulates your blood. Unlike skeletal muscle, heart tissue contracts without neural stimulation, guided instead by specialized pacemaker cells. These cells generate electrical impulses that spread through the heart in precise waves, first causing the atria to contract, then the ventricles. The rhythm adapts subtly to your needs, quickening during activity and slowing during rest, all without conscious input. Smooth muscle works even more quietly, lining the walls of your digestive tract, blood vessels, and other hollow organs. Its contractions are slower and more sustained than those of skeletal muscle. Right now, smooth muscle fibers in your intestines are gently pushing food along your digestive tract through wave-like motions called peristalsis. In your blood vessels, these muscles maintain optimal pressure by adjusting their tension in response to chemical signals. Muscle contraction relies on a precise balance of electrolytes. Calcium ions initiate the process by binding to regulatory proteins. Sodium and potassium ions generate the electrical signals that trigger contraction. Magnesium helps muscles relax after contraction ends. These minerals must remain in careful proportion. Too much or too little of any can lead to cramps, weakness, or irregular heart rhythms. The energy demands of muscle tissue are met through several metabolic pathways. During brief, intense activity, muscles rely on stored ATP and creatine phosphate. For sustained effort, they increasingly use aerobic respiration, which requires oxygen delivered by the cardiovascular system. This explains why your breathing and heart rate increase during exercise to meet the heightened demand for oxygen and fuel. Muscles rarely work alone. They're arranged in opposing pairs around joints. When one contracts, its partner relaxes to allow controlled movement. This coordinated action is managed by neural circuits that inhibit one muscle group while stimulating its counterpart. The result is fluid motion rather than jerky resistance, allowing everything from precise finger movements to powerful strides. As you rest now, consider the quiet activity within your muscles. Postural muscles make minor adjustments to maintain your position. Your diaphragm continues its rhythmic contractions that draw air into your lungs. Your heart maintains its steady pulsation. All this occurs without conscious effort, a testament to the body's remarkable automation. In the next section, we'll explore how these muscles receive their oxygen supply through the circulatory system. But for now, there's only this moment of quiet appreciation for the soft engines that move you through the world, sometimes by your choice, often without your notice, always with quiet efficiency. Whether you continue listening or drift toward sleep, your muscles will keep working, contracting, and relaxing in their endless, silent rhythm. Imagine, if you will, a vast and intricate network of waterways flowing silently through your body, a system both delicate and robust, carrying life to every distant cell. This is your circulatory system, a quiet river of blood that travels nearly 100,000 kilometers if all its vessels were laid end to end. At this very moment, approximately 5 liters of blood move through you in a continuous, gentle flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients while collecting waste products for removal. The journey begins at the heart, that steadfast muscular pump divided into 4 chambers, with each beat about 60 to 80 times per minute at rest. It sends blood outward through arteries that branch like tree limbs, growing progressively smaller until they become microscopic capillaries. These tiny vessels are so narrow that red blood cells must pass through in single file, their flexible membranes allowing them to bend and twist through the narrowest passages. Consider the path of a single red blood cell as it completes its circuit, freshly oxygenated in the lungs, alveoli, where air meets blood across membranes thinner than tissue paper. It enters the pulmonary veins and flows back to the heart's left atrium. From there, it passes into the left ventricle, the heart's most powerful chamber, which sends it coursing through the aorta to begin its journey through the body. As this red blood cell travels through arteries, the vessels gradually narrow, their muscular walls adjusting diameter to regulate blood flow. Eventually, it reaches the capillaries, the circulatory system's finest branches, where the real work occurs. Here, oxygen molecules detach from hemoglobin and diffuse into surrounding tissues, while carbon dioxide, a waste product of metabolism, enters the bloodstream for removal. Nutrients from digested food similarly cross capillary walls to nourish cells, while metabolic byproducts are collected for filtration. The now oxygen-depleted blood begins its return journey through venules, which merge into larger veins. Unlike arteries, veins contain one-way valves that prevent backflow, ensuring blood moves steadily toward the heart, even against gravity. Muscle contractions throughout your body assist this return fluid movement you make. Even the subtle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe helps push blood back to the heart. The circulatory system adapts quietly to your body's changing needs. During exercise, blood vessels to working muscles dilate to increase flow, while vessels to less active areas constrict. Your heart rate increases modestly, but the system never becomes strained, simply meets demand with quiet efficiency. Even now, as you rest, blood flow to your brain remains constant and prioritized, ensuring your nervous system receives steady nourishment. Blood itself is more than just a transport medium. It's a living tissue composed of cells suspended in plasma. Red blood cells carry oxygen bound to hemoglobin molecules. White blood cells patrol for pathogens, moving independently through tissues when needed. Platelets float ready to initiate clotting at injury sites. The plasma, mostly water, carries dissolved proteins, hormones, and electrolytes that maintain the body's delicate chemical balance. The heart's valves tricuspid, pulmonary, mitral, and aortic open and close with each beat, not with a jarring snap, but with a soft, rhythmic whisper. Their precise timing ensures blood flows in one direction only, preventing backflow that would reduce efficiency. The familiar lub-dub sound of your heartbeat is simply these valves. Closing first, the atrioventricular valves, as ventricles contract, then the semilunar valves, as they relax. Blood pressure, often reduced to numbers in clinical settings, is simply the gentle force your blood exerts against vessel walls. It rises and falls naturally throughout the day, peaking when you're active and dipping during rest. The system maintains this pressure through a combination of heart output, vessel elasticity, and fluid volume, all regulated automatically by your nervous and endocrine systems. As you rest now, your circulatory system continues its quiet work. Each minute, your entire blood volume completes a full circuit from heart to body and back again. In the capillaries of your fingers and toes, red blood cells release their oxygen before returning to the lungs to begin anew. In your kidneys, blood is continuously filtered, with waste products removed and essential components retained. Your spleen quietly removes aging red blood cells from circulation, recycling their iron while producing new cells to take their place. This system requires no conscious maintenance. Your bone marrow produces approximately 2 million new red blood cells every second, replacing those that have completed their 4-month lifespan. Your liver synthesizes clotting factors and plasma proteins. Your kidneys adjust blood volume by regulating water retention. All these processes occur silently, keeping your internal river flowing smoothly. In the next section, we'll explore how your respiratory system replenishes the oxygen carried by this circulatory network. But for now, there's only this quiet awareness of the liquid highway within UA system that has never stopped working since before your birth, that will continue without pause throughout your life, that sustains you effortlessly, whether you're awake or asleep. As you drift toward slumber, your heartbeat may slow slightly, your vessels may relax further, but the flow continues steady, silent, and sure. There is a quiet rhythm to your existence, an ebb and flow, as constant as ocean tides, the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Even now, as you listen or perhaps begin to drift toward sleep, your respiratory system continues its ceaseless work. 12 to 16 times each minute at rest, without conscious thought or effort, air moves in and out of your lungs in a soothing, wave-like motion. The journey of each breath begins as air enters through your nose, where it is warmed, filtered, and humidified by intricate nasal passages. From there, it travels down the trachea flexible tube, reinforced with delicate rings of cartilage, before branching into smaller bronchi and then even smaller bronchioles. These airways gradually narrow like the delicate limbs of a tree, eventually terminating in clusters of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Imagine these alveoli as millions of microscopic balloons, each one barely visible to the naked eye. Their walls are astonishingly thin, just a single cell thick, allowing oxygen to diffuse effortlessly into surrounding capillaries, while carbon dioxide moves in the opposite direction. The total surface area of these air sacs, if spread out, would cover nearly a tennis court, an extraordinary expanse folded neatly within your chest. The mechanics of breathing are elegantly simple. When your diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle beneath your lungs, contracts, it flattens and creates negative pressure within your chest cavity. This causes your lungs to expand and air to flow inward. As the diaphragm relaxes, the elastic recoil of your lung tissue gently pushes air back out. No pumps, no valves, just the quiet movement of muscles and the natural elasticity of tissues. During rest, breathing is shallow and effortless, using only a fraction of your lung capacity. With each inhalation, about 500 milliliters of air enters your lungs, just enough to replenish oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. The process is so efficient that only the freshest air reaches the alveoli, while stale air remains in the anatomical dead space of your airways, to be exhaled first with your next breath. As you transition toward sleep, your breathing pattern changes subtly. The rate may slow slightly, becoming more regular and rhythmic. During deeper stages of sleep, breaths may grow even shallower as your metabolic demands decrease. Yet the system never stops. your brain stem automatically maintains this vital function, adjusting it precisely to your body's needs without requiring conscious attention. The respiratory system adapts seamlessly to changing circumstances. During physical activity, your breathing depth and rate increase gradually to meet heightened oxygen demands. Chemical receptors in your blood vessels detect rising carbon dioxide levels and signal the respiratory centers in your brain to increase ventilation. These adjustments occur smoothly, without abrupt changes that might disrupt your body's equilibrium. Gas exchange itself is a passive process driven by simple diffusion. Oxygen moves from areas of high concentration in the alveoli to lower concentration in capillary blood. Carbon dioxide follows the opposite path. This silent transaction occurs continuously across the alveolar membranes, requiring no energy expenditure, just the natural movement of molecules from where they are more concentrated to where they are less so. Your lungs are protected by a delicate, double-layered membrane called the pleura. A thin film of fluid between these layers allows them to glide smoothly against each other with each breath, preventing friction. The entire structure is encased within your rib cage, a flexible yet protective enclosure that expands and contracts with each respiratory cycle. The respiratory system works in perfect harmony with your circulatory system. Oxygen, absorbed through the alveoli, binds to hemoglobin in red blood cells for transport throughout the body. Carbon dioxide produced by cellular metabolism is carried back to the lungs in various forms, dissolved in plasma, bound to hemoglobin, or as bicarbonate ions. This partnership between respiration and circulation sustains life at its most fundamental level. As you rest now, you might bring gentle awareness to your breathing, not to change it, but simply to notice its natural rhythm. Feel the slight coolness of inhaled air, the subtle warmth of exhalation. Observe how each breath flows effortlessly into the next, like waves lapping at a shore. There is no need to control or alter this process. Your body knows precisely how much air you need in this moment. In the next section, we'll explore how the nutrients from your breath and bloodstream are utilized by your digestive system. But for now, there is only this quiet observation of the unseen breath, the automatic, life-sustaining rhythm that continues whether you're awake or asleep, active or at rest. As you drift toward slumber, your breathing may slow further, growing deeper and more regular, a soothing lullaby of inhalation and exhalation that will carry you gently through the night. Within you exists a quiet laboratory where ordinary food undergoes extraordinary transformations into the very substance of your being. This alchemical journey begins not with dramatic changes, but with subtle, methodical processes that unfold, hour after hour, day after day. As you rest now, your digestive system continues its patient work, breaking down, absorbing, and repurposing nutrients with quiet precision. The process begins in the mouth, where food is met not just by teeth, for mechanical breakdown, but by salivary enzymes that initiate carbohydrate digestion. This moistening and softening occurs almost unnoticed as you chew, the saliva's enzymes working gently to start breaking complex starches into simpler sugars. The act of swallowing then transfers this prepared bolus of food into the esophagus, muscular tube that guides it downward with wave-like contractions. These contractions, known as peristalsis, move food along your digestive tract in a slow, rhythmic dance. Imagine a wave passing through the ocean, not a sudden jerk or forceful push, but a smooth, undulating motion that propels contents forward effortlessly. This same gentle movement continues throughout the entire length of your gastrointestinal tract, operating automatically whether you're awake or deeply asleep. As food enters the stomach, it encounters a carefully regulated acidic environment. The stomach lining secretes hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes, creating a potent yet controlled chemical bath. The stomach's muscular walls churn and mix the food gradually, reducing it to a semi-liquid state called chyme. Remarkably, the stomach protects itself from its own acid through a layer of mucus and rapid cell regeneration. A perfect example of the body's quiet self-preservation. The pancreas and liver serve as the digestive system's master chemists, releasing their secretions into the small intestine when needed. The pancreas produces a blend of digestive enzymes, each specialized for breaking down proteins, carbohydrates, or fats, along with bicarbonate to neutralize stomach acid. The liver creates bile, which emulsifies fats into smaller droplets for easier digestion. These organs don't announce their contributions. They simply release their substances in precise amounts at exactly the right moments. In the small coiled tube nearly 6 meters long, the majority of nutrient absorption occurs. Its inner surface is folded into countless tiny finger-like projections called villi, each covered with even smaller microvilli. This intricate architecture creates an enormous surface area for absorption, roughly the size of a tennis court, compressed into your abdominal cavity. Nutrients pass through these intestinal walls and enter either the bloodstream for sugars and amino acids, or the lymphatic system for fats. The liver performs its quiet oversight as nutrient-rich blood arrives from the digestive tract. It regulates glucose levels by storing excess as glycogen or releasing it when needed. It processes amino acids, detoxifies harmful substances, and recycles components like iron and bile salts. This vital organ manages hundreds of biochemical processes simultaneously, yet we're rarely aware of its constant activity. As digestion concludes, remaining material enters the large intestine, where water and electrolytes are absorbed back into the body. Helpful gut bacteria ferment certain indigestible fibers, producing beneficial compounds like short-chain fatty acids and some vitamins. These microbial partners, numbering in the trillions, form a symbiotic ecosystem that contributes to your overall health without demanding any conscious attention. The entire digestive process operates on an automatic schedule governed by the enteric nervous system, sometimes called the second brain. This complex network of neurons, embedded in the digestive tract wall, can coordinate most digestive activities independently, though it communicates with the central nervous system as well. This explains how digestion continues normally, even in spinal cord injury patients, and why emotional states can influence gut function. Remarkably, your digestive system adapts its pace and secretions to the type and quantity of food consumed. A fatty meal triggers the gallbladder to release more bile and slows stomach emptying to allow thorough digestion. A carbohydrate-rich meal moves through more quickly. These adjustments occur automatically, guided by hormonal signals and neural reflexes that sense the composition of each meal. As you rest now, perhaps after your last meal hours ago, your digestive system continues its unseen labor. In your small intestine, the final nutrients are being absorbed. In your liver, countless biochemical transformations maintain your body's equilibrium. In your colon, water reabsorption continues, preparing waste for eventual elimination, a process that will occur when convenient, not according to any urgent schedule. In the next section, we'll examine how your body eliminates what it cannot use through the urinary system. But for now, there's only appreciation for this magnificent internal alchemy, the silent transformation of ordinary food into your very cells and energy. Whether you're actively eating or fasting, awake or asleep, your digestive system works steadily to sustain you, requiring no conscious direction, only the quiet intelligence of your body's innate wisdom. As you drift toward sleep, know that this inner laboratory continues its work, breaking down, building up, transforming, and renewing, all in silent service to your life. The rhythmic contractions of digestion may even become part of the lullaby that carries you into deeper rest, a gentle reminder of the ongoing processes that nourish and sustain you through every moment. Beneath the quiet rhythm of your breath and heartbeat, another essential process unfolds with methodical precision: the continuous purification of your blood. Your urinary system works as nature's most sophisticated filtration plant, processing your entire blood volume about 60 times each day without conscious effort or fanfare. At this very moment, as you rest, your kidneys are performing their meticulous work, separating what your body needs to keep from what it must let go. Imagine your kidneys as two bean-shaped custodians, each about the size of your fist, nestled against your back muscles. Within each kidney lies approximately 1 million microscopic filtering units called nephrons, the true workhorses of this silent purification system. A nephron begins with a delicate network of capillaries called the glomerulus, where blood pressure forces fluid through a fine membrane. This initial filtrate contains not just waste products, but also many valuable substances your body will carefully reclaim. As this filtered fluid begins its journey through the winding tubules of the nephron, a remarkable process of selective reabsorption occurs. Essential nutrients like glucose and amino acids are completely reclaimed. Electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, and others are carefully regulated, with excess amounts allowed to pass into urine while necessary quantities are retained. Water follows passively as your body maintains its precise fluid balance. This intricate sorting happens automatically, guided by hormonal signals that sense your body's changing needs. The kidneys demonstrate extraordinary precision in their water conservation. Through a process called countercurrent multiplication, they create a concentration gradient in the kidney tissue that allows them to produce urine that's either more concentrated or more diluted as needed. When you're well hydrated, your kidneys allow more water to escape as dilute, pale urine. During dehydration, they reclaim nearly all possible water, producing small amounts of dark, concentrated urine. All this occurs without your conscious input, perfect example of the body's quiet wisdom. Your kidneys serve as master chemists, maintaining the exact composition of your blood within narrow limits. They regulate blood pH by selectively or retaining hydrogen ions and bicarbonate. They control blood pressure by adjusting sodium balance and releasing the enzyme renin. They stimulate red blood cell production by secreting erythropoietin when oxygen levels dip. These diverse functions all occur silently, without disrupting the kidney's primary filtration work. As the processed fluid completes its journey through the nephron, now properly called urine, it collects in the renal pelvis before beginning its descent through slender tubes called ureters. These muscular conduits use gentle peristaltic waves similar to those in your digestive tract to move urine downward to the bladder. This transport occurs so gradually and smoothly that you're rarely aware of it happening. The bladder serves as a temporary reservoir, its muscular walls relaxing to accommodate increasing volumes of urine without raising internal pressure. Specialized stretch receptors monitor the bladder's fullness, eventually signaling when voluntary emptying becomes appropriate. Yet even this signaling is patient and gradual. Your bladder fills quietly for hours before suggesting it might be time for release. The urinary system's efficiency is such that less than 1% of the fluid filtered by your kidneys actually becomes urine. The remaining 99% is reclaimed and returned to your bloodstream, testament to the system's incredible conservation abilities. This means that the few hundred milliliters of urine you might produce each hour represent the tiny fraction of filtered material your body has determined it can spare. As you rest now, perhaps drifting toward sleep, your kidneys continue their ceaseless work. Blood enters through the renal arteries at a steady rate of about 1 liter per minute, nearly a quarter of your heart's total output to be cleaned and returned to circulation. The composition of your urine changes subtly as you sleep, typically becoming more concentrated as your body takes advantage of this period of fasting and reduced fluid intake. In the next section, we'll explore how your nervous system coordinates all these bodily functions. But for now, there's only appreciation for this silent filtration system, the meticulous balance it maintains, the toxins it removes, the precious resources it conserves. Your kidneys have been performing this vital work since before your birth, and will continue without pause throughout your lifetime. As you surrender to sleep, you can trust these internal gardeners to continue their careful tending of your body's fluid and chemical balance. The slow stream of filtration and reabsorption continues through the night, maintaining equilibrium while you rest. There's profound comfort in knowing this silent purification proceeds effortlessly, requiring nothing from you but trust in your body's innate wisdom that has sustained life for millennia and will sustain you through this night and many more to come. Within you exists a silent communication network, more intricate than any human invention, a living web of electrical whispers and chemical conversations that coordinate your every function. This nervous system operates continuously, whether you're solving complex problems or drifting into sleep, maintaining the delicate balance that keeps you alive and aware. At this moment, as you rest, countless neural messages traverse your body like fireflies, signaling in the dark, each spark purposeful, each connection meaningful. The fundamental units of this system are neuron-specialized cells that communicate through gentle electrical impulses and subtle chemical signals. A single neuron may connect with thousands of others, forming networks of astonishing complexity. These connections aren't rigid like computer circuits, but living, adaptable pathways that strengthen with use and modify themselves based on experience. When you learn something new, Whether a fact or a skill, it's these neural pathways that quietly reorganize themselves to store that information. Your brain, weighing barely 3 pounds, contains approximately 86 billion of these neurons. Rather than imagining it as a command center issuing orders, consider it instead as a vast, dynamic library, one that not only stores information, but continuously cross-references and reorganizes its holdings. Different regions specialize in various functions, yet all work in harmony. The cerebral cortex processes thoughts and sensations. The hippocampus organizes memories. The thalamus routes sensory information, and the hypothalamus maintains bodily equilibrium, all without conscious direction. Most remarkably, much of your nervous system operates entirely beyond your awareness. The autonomic nervous system quietly manages life's essential rhythms, the steady beat of your heart, the unconscious expansion of your lungs, the subtle adjustments of digestion. It has 2 complementary branches: the sympathetic system that prepares your body for action, though not with the dramatic fight or flight intensity often described, and the parasympathetic system that promotes rest and recovery. These branches maintain a gentle push-pull balance, like invisible hands on a physiological tiller, keeping your body sailing smoothly through changing conditions. Neural communication occurs through a combination of electrical and chemical signals. When a neuron fires, an electrical impulse travels along its axona process that might seem sudden, but actually unfolds with precise MEASURED timing at the synapse, the gap between neurons. This electrical signal transforms into a chemical one as neurotransmitters drift across the narrow space to deliver their messages. These chemical messengers, dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and dozens of others, each have their own subtle effects, creating a rich vocabulary of neural communication. Your spinal cord serves as both information highway and local processing center. It carries sensory data upward to your brain and motor commands downward, while also coordinating reflex responses that don't require conscious thought. When you touch something hot and withdraw your hand before even feeling pain, that's your spinal cord making split-second decisions to protect you. A perfect example of the nervous system's efficient, layered design. Sleep itself is regulated by complex neural processes we're only beginning to understand. As you transition toward slumber, different brainwave patterns emerge, from the alert beta waves of wakefulness to the relaxed alpha waves of drowsiness, eventually progressing to the deep, slow delta waves of restorative sleep. These transitions are guided by clusters of neurons in your brainstem and hypothalamus that compose your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, responding to both internal cues and the gradual dimming of daylight. The nervous system demonstrates remarkable plasticity throughout your life. When you learn a new skill, whether playing an instrument or speaking a language, existing neural connections strengthen and new ones form. Even in injury, the nervous system can reorganize itself. Nearby neurons may take over functions from damaged areas, demonstrating the network's inherent resilience and adaptability. This plasticity occurs gradually through countless small adjustments rather than sudden changes. As you rest now, your nervous system continues its quiet work. Sensory neurons monitor your body's position and the temperature of your surroundings. Motor neurons maintain just enough muscle tone to keep you comfortable. Your brain consolidates the day's memories, sorting and storing them for future recall. All this activity occurs beneath the surface of consciousness, requiring no effort or attention from you. In the next section, we'll explore how your immune system protects this delicate neural network, along with all your other tissues. But for now, there's only appreciation for this silent communication web, the instantaneous reflexes that protect you, the automatic rhythms that sustain you, the memories that define you. Your nervous system has been learning and adapting since before your birth, and will continue doing so throughout your life. As sleep approaches, you can surrender to the knowledge that this neural network will maintain its watch. The autonomic system will keep your heart beating and lungs breathing. The thalamus will filter out unimportant sensations, allowing you to rest undisturbed. The hippocampus will organize your memories while you dream. There's profound comfort in knowing this vast, quiet library of your mind remains open through the night, its countless neural volumes waiting patiently for your return to wakefulness. Each synapse, each connection, each whispering neuron, a testament to the silent miracle of your consciousness at rest. Beneath the surface of your skin, within the quiet flow of your blood and lymph, an entire protective network stands ever vigilant. Your immune system operates as a silent guardian, not as an army waging war, but as countless microscopic caretakers, maintaining order and responding to disturbances with measured precision. Even now, as you rest, these cellular protectors survey your tissues, recognize familiar patterns, and quietly manage the countless microorganisms that call your body home. White blood cells, or leukocytes, serve as the system's primary caretakers. These specialized cells circulate through your bloodstream and lymphatic vessels, some patrolling constantly, while others remain stationed in tissues. Neutrophils roam as first responders, moving toward areas of disturbance with quiet determination. Lymphocytes, including T cells and B cells, act as the system's memory and intelligence, remembering past encounters and coordinating appropriate responses. These cells don't rush frantically, but move with purpose, following chemical trails, much like gentle whispers, guiding them where they're needed. The lymphatic system forms a parallel circulatory network dedicated to immune function and fluid balance. This system of vessels and nodes carries lympha, clear fluid derived from blood plasma throughout your body. Lymph nodes serve as filtering stations where immune cells congregate to examine the fluid's contents. These nodes aren't rigid barriers, but more like quiet meeting places where immune cells exchange information about potential threats. The spleen performs similar surveillance on your blood, removing aged red blood cells while watching for signs of infection. Inflammation, often misunderstood as purely harmful, is actually the immune system's careful response to injury or infection. When tissues are damaged, they release subtle chemical signals that increase blood flow to the area, causing warmth and redness. These same signals make blood vessels slightly more permeable, allowing immune cells to exit the bloodstream and enter affected tissues. The resulting swelling creates space for repair processes to occur. Rather than imagining this as an alarm bell, consider it more like a neighborhood quietly organizing after a minor disturbance. Methodical, purposeful, and ultimately restorative. Your immune system maintains an elegant balance between vigilance and tolerance. It must remain alert enough to recognize genuine threats, yet restrained enough not to overreact to harmless substances or your own tissues. This balance is maintained through complex regulatory mechanisms, suppressor T cells that calm excessive responses, regulatory cytokines that modulate inflammation, and selective processes that eliminate self-reactive immune cells during their development. Antibodies produced by B cells serve as highly specific recognition molecules. These Y-shaped proteins float through your bodily fluids, binding to particular targets with exquisite precision. When they encounter their specific antigen, they don't destroy it directly, but mark it for attention from other immune cells, like placing a subtle tag on an item needing review. This targeted approach minimizes collateral damage to surrounding healthy tissues. The immune system demonstrates remarkable memory. After encountering a pathogen, some lymphocytes become memory cells that persist for years or even decades. These cells allow faster, more efficient responses upon subsequent exposures, the biological basis of immunity. This memory isn't stored like computer data, but carried in the very structure and receptors of these long-lived cells, ready to activate should their specific threat reappear. Your body maintains symbiotic relationships with trillions of microorganisms, your microbiome that influence immune function profoundly. These microbial residents compete with potential pathogens for space and resources, while also helping to educate your immune system about what constitutes a genuine threat. This delicate ecosystem develops from birth and continues evolving throughout your life, shaped by your environment, diet, and experiences. As you rest now, your immune system continues its quiet surveillance. Dendritic cells sample proteins from your tissues, presenting them to lymphocytes for review. Natural, KILLER, cells patrol for abnormal cells, recognizing and removing them with quiet efficiency. Your bone marrow produces new immune cells at a steady pace, while your thymus, in younger individuals, continues training T cells to distinguish self from non-self. All this occurs without fanfare or conscious awareness. In the next section, we'll explore how your endocrine system coordinates many of these processes through chemical messengers. But for now, there's only appreciation for this silent protective network, the way it remembers past encounters without clinging to them, responds to disturbances without overreacting, and maintains peace through constant, gentle vigilance. Your immune system has protected you since before your first breath, learning and adapting throughout your life. As sleep approaches, you can take comfort in knowing these microscopic guardians remain at their posts. The lymph continues its slow circulation, immune cells, their quiet patrols, the body, its constant self-monitoring. There's profound peace in surrendering to this natural protection, not as something separate from you, but as an essential expression of your body's quiet wisdom. The same intelligence that grows your hair and beats your heart also maintains this vigilant, yet peaceful defensa, testament to the profound harmony within. Moving silently through your bloodstream, an elegant communication system whispers instructions to every organ and tissue. These chemical messengers, hormones, travel unseen, carrying information that coordinates your growth, metabolism, energy, levels, and even your emotions. Unlike the rapid electrical signals of your nervous system, the endocrine system works in gradual swells and subtle shifts, changing your body's state with the patience of the changing seasons. The pituitary gland, no larger than a pea, serves as the system's unassuming conductor. Nestled safely at the base of your brain, this master gland releases hormones that influence nearly every endocrine function. It signals your thyroid to regulate metabolism, your adrenal glands to manage stress responses, and your reproductive organs to control development and fertility. Yet despite its central role, the pituitary doesn't demand attention. It listens carefully to feedback from your body and adjusts its output accordingly, maintaining balance through quiet conversation rather than commands. Your thyroid gland, shaped like a delicate butterfly in your neck, produces hormones that set the metabolic pace for your entire body. Thyroxine and triiodothyron drift through your circulation, gently encouraging cells to convert nutrients into energy. These hormones don't force activity, but rather create an environment where your body can function optimally, like sunlight, encouraging growth rather than demanding it. When levels are balanced, you feel neither restless nor sluggish, but quietly energized. The adrenal glands, perched like small caps atop your kidneys, release hormones that help your body adapt to challenges. Cortisol, often misunderstood as purely a stress hormone, actually follows a natural daily rhythm, highest in the morning to help you wake, gradually declining throughout the day to allow restful sleep. This rhythm flows as predictably as tides, coordinating with your sleep-wake cycle. Adrenaline prepares your body for action when needed, but in measured amounts, not as an alarm, but as a quiet preparation. Your pancreas maintains blood sugar levels with exquisite precision, sensing glucose concentrations and responding with either insulin or glucagon as needed. Insulin allows cells to absorb glucose from your bloodstream, while glucagon prompts your liver to release stored glucose when levels dip. This balancing act occurs continuously, keeping your energy stable without dramatic fluctuations. The system is so refined that under normal circumstances, you remain entirely unaware of its constant adjustments. Sex hormones, sextrogen, progesterone, and testosterone guide your development and reproductive function with patient persistence. These chemicals influence not just physical characteristics, but also mood, bone density, and cardiovascular health. Their levels change gradually over lifetimes, orchestrating puberty, menstrual cycles, and other transitions with the slow certainty of celestial movements. Even daily fluctuations occur in gentle waves rather than sudden shifts. The pineal gland, deep within your brain, produces melatonin as daylight fades. This hormone doesn't force sleep upon you, but rather suggests its possibility like a soft invitation to rest. Melatonin levels rise and fall in harmony with your circadian rhythms, influenced by light exposure, but also by your consistent routines. Its gradual increase in the evening contributes to that quiet, drowsy feeling as you prepare for sleep. What makes the endocrine system truly remarkable is its interconnected nature. Hormones from one gland often regulate the release of hormones from others, creating feedback loops that maintain perfect balance. The hypothalamus in your brain monitors hormone levels and helps coordinate their release, serving as a bridge between your nervous and endocrine systems. This integration ensures that your body's responses are measured and appropriate, more than needed, never less than required. As you rest now, your endocrine system continues its quiet work. Your pancreas adjusts insulin output based on your last meal. Your thyroid maintains your metabolic rate, Your adrenal glands gradually reduce cortisol production as night deepens. These processes require no conscious direction. They unfold automatically, guided by rhythms established over millennia of evolution. In the next section, we'll examine how your body's protective covering, the skin, interacts with both your endocrine and nervous systems. But for now, there's only appreciation for this silent chemical conversation. These hormones have guided your growth since before birth, regulated your energy through countless days, and will continue their quiet work throughout your life. As sleep approaches, you can surrender to these natural rhythms, the gradual rise of melatonin, the gentle decline of cortisol, the subtle shifts in growth hormone secretion, all working in concert to restore you through the night. There's deep comfort in knowing your body speaks this chemical language fluently, maintaining its equilibrium without your conscious effort. The same wisdom that grew your body from a single cell continues to guide it now through hormones as timeless as they are silent. Your skin wraps you in a living embrace, a supple barrier between your inner world and the environment beyond. This remarkable organ, the body's largest, does far more than simply contain your physical form. It protects, regulates, senses, and communicates, performing countless silent functions even as you rest. At this moment, as you settle into stillness, your skin continues its ceaseless work of interface and protection, requiring neither recognition nor thanks. Consider the skin's elegant structure, composed of 3 distinct yet harmonious layers. The outermost epidermis constantly renews itself, with new cells rising from below as older ones flatten and keratinize, eventually shedding imperceptibly from the surface. This process unfolds gradually, with complete turnover occurring about every 28 days, a cycle as reliable as the moon's phases. Beneath this lies the dermis, a supportive layer of connective tissue housing blood vessels, nerve endings, and the roots of hair follicles. Deeper still rests the hypodermis, where adipose tissue cushions and insulates your body against temperature changes and mechanical impacts. Your skin serves as the body's first line of defense, not through aggressive action, but through quiet, persistent resistance. The acidic mantle formed by sebum and sweat creates an environment inhospitable to many pathogens. Tight junctions between epidermal cells form a physical barrier, while specialized immune cells, called Langerhans cells, stand ready to alert the immune system should invaders breach these initial defenses. This protection operates continuously, whether you're facing harsh sunlight or resting in gentle darkness. Temperature regulation occurs through subtle mechanisms that require no conscious direction. When your body grows warm, dermal blood vessels dilate, allowing heat to radiate from your skin's surface. Simultaneously, eccrine sweat glands release tiny droplets of perspiration that cool the skin through evaporation, a process as natural and unforced as morning dew forming on grass. In cooler conditions, these same blood vessels constrict to conserve heat, while erector pili muscles cause tiny hairs to stand upright, trapping an insulating layer of air near the skin's surface. The skin's sensory capabilities are perhaps its most poetic function. Millions of specialized nerve endings allow you to perceive the world's textures, the brush of fabric, the pressure of a hand, the caress of a breeze. These receptors vary in their sensitivity and response times, creating a rich tapestry of tactile experience. Meissner's corpuscles in hairless areas detect light touch, while Pacinian corpuscles respond to vibration and deep pressure. Free nerve endings convey temperature and pain, not as alarms, but as important information about your environment. Your fingertips exemplify this sensory sophistication. The ridged patterns of your fingerprints increase surface area, enhancing grip and amplifying tactile sensitivity. These ridges channel subtle vibrations as you run your fingers across a surface, allowing you to distinguish textures as delicate as silk from those as coarse as sandpaper, all with minimal pressure. This sensitivity isn't sharp or jarring, but rather a gentle, continuous awareness of your physical connection to the world. The skin also serves as a canvas for nonverbal communication. Tiny muscles around hair follicles create goosebumps in response to cold or strong emotions. Blood flow changes create blushes or pallor that subtly signal internal states. These responses occur involuntarily, yet contribute to the quiet language of human interaction. Even your unique pattern of freckles, moles, and pigmentation tells the story of your genetic heritage and life experiences. As you rest now, your skin continues its silent duties. Stem cells in the basal layer divide to replace lost cells. Melanocytes adjust their production of protective pigment in response to prior sun exposure. Sebaceous glands release oils that keep the skin supple and hydrated. These processes unfold gradually, requiring neither conscious attention nor conscious appreciation. In the next section, we'll explore how the body's systems work together during sleep. But for now, there's only this quiet awareness of your skin's presence, the way it breathes through tiny pores, the way it registers the soft pressure of bedding, the way it maintains your physical integrity without demand or fanfare. This living boundary has been with you since before birth, growing as you grew, adapting as you changed. As sleep approaches, you might notice your skin's temperature gradually equalizing with its surroundings, your tactile awareness softening as consciousness fades. The same nerve endings that relay such detailed information during waking hours now permit you to sink into the bed without persistent awareness of its texture. Your skin, like the rest of you, prepares for restoration, its blood flow increasing slightly to support nighttime repair, its cell division accelerating during these hours of rest. There's profound comfort in surrendering to this natural process, in trusting your body's outermost layer to continue its silent vigil as you sleep. The same skin that protects you from the world also connects you to it through sensation, through expression, through quiet physiological exchange. It requires nothing from you now but acceptance, as it has since your first breath, as it will until your last. Within the quiet rhythms of your body unfolds one of nature's most profound processes, the gentle, cyclical preparation for potential new life. The reproductive system operates not with urgency, but with the patient persistence of seasons changing, its rhythms measured in weeks and years rather than seconds. This system differs between male and female bodies, yet both share the same quiet purpose, the careful cultivation and occasional meeting of specialized cells that carry the possibility of continuation. In biological terms, reproduction begins with gametes, the egg and sperm cells that contain half the genetic instructions needed to form a new human. These cells develop through processes that unfold gradually, with timing governed by hormonal signals as reliable as tides. Eggs mature within protective ovarian follicles, while sperm develop in the testicular seminiferous tubules, both processes measured not in minutes or hours, but in weeks and months. There is no rush in this development, only the steady progression, dictated by biological clocks set long before birth. The female reproductive cycle follows a lunar-like rhythm, typically spanning about 28 days. This cycle involves careful coordination between ovaries, uterus, and endocrine glands. During the follicular phase, several ovarian follicles begin maturing, though usually only one will reach full development. At mid-cycle, the mature egg is released, a quiet event called ovulation that often passes unnoticed. Meanwhile, the uterine lining thickens with vascular tissue in preparation for potential implantation, then sheds during menstruation if pregnancy doesn't occur. These changes are guided by fluctuating levels of estrogen and progesterone hormones that rise and fall like gentle waves. Male reproductive physiology maintains a more constant state, yet still follows deliberate biological timelines. Sperm production requires approximately 74 days from start to finish, with new cells continuously entering this pipeline of development. Unlike the cyclical female pattern, male hormone levels remain relatively stable, with testosterone production showing only slight diurnal variations, highest in morning hours, lowest in evening. This constancy reflects the different but complementary reproductive roles evolved over millennia. The reproductive system's connection to the endocrine system creates far-reaching effects beyond reproduction itself. Sex hormones influence bone density, muscle mass, fat distribution, and even brain function. These effects accumulate gradually over years, guiding the body through puberty, potential childbearing years, and eventually the transition to non-reproductive stages of life. Each phase arrives in its own time, with changes measured in subtle shifts rather than sudden transformations. Sexual development begins long before puberty. The foundation is laid in fetal development, when reproductive structures form and the initial pool of eggs is established in female embryos. This early preparation remains dormant through childhood, waiting for the gradual activation that will begin adolescence. When the time comes, the hypothalamus initiates puberty through gentle increases in gonadotropin-releasing hormone, first secreted only at night, then more consistently as maturation progresses. Even this transition, often perceived as sudden, actually unfolds over several years. The reproductive system maintains intimate connections with other body systems. The circulatory system delivers hormones to their target tissues. The nervous system contributes to sexual response and function. The endocrine system coordinates the entire process through chemical messages. This integration ensures that reproductive function aligns with overall health and energy availability, nature's way of confirming the body is prepared for potential reproduction. In quiet moments of connection between partners, the reproductive system may facilitate conception, though this outcome is never guaranteed, only possible. Fertilization itself is a quiet cellular event, requiring no conscious direction from either participant. Should conception occur, the resulting zygote will begin dividing as it travels toward the uterus, where implantation initiates the profound transformations of pregnancy process that will unfold cell by cell, day by day, over approximately 40 weeks. As you rest now, your reproductive system continues its quiet rhythms. Hormone levels fluctuate according to their established patterns. Cells develop and mature at their own pace. The system asks nothing of your conscious attention. It simply follows the biological pathways laid down through generations of human development. In our final section, we'll consider how all these systems work together during sleep. But for now, there's only appreciation for this quiet dance of potential life, the careful preparation, the patient timing, the profound yet silent biological wisdom, whether actively engaged in reproduction or simply maintaining its capacity. Your reproductive system operates with the same quiet assurance as your beating heart or breathing lungs. As sleep approaches, you can rest knowing these rhythms continue, not demanding attention, not requiring action, simply unfolding as they have for countless generations before you. The same forces that guided your own beginnings now maintain your body's reproductive potential, all while you drift peacefully toward rest. There is deep comfort in this continuity, in being part of a biological story much larger than any single life, a story written not in dramatic events, but in countless, quiet moments of cellular connection and potential. As you settle deeper into rest, your body begins its most profound work of renewal. This is the sacred space where wakefulness ebbs and the healing tide of sleep flows in, not as an absence of consciousness, but as an active state of restoration. While your mind drifts, every system within you continues its labor, working with quiet purpose through the night's gentle hours. Sleep unfolds in cycles, each with its own rhythm and purpose. The journey begins with light sleep, where brain waves slow from their daytime alertness into the calm theta rhythm. Your muscles relax, your breathing becomes more regular, and your heart rate begins to gently decline. This transition occurs not abruptly, but with the gradual certainty of dusk giving way to night. As sleep deepens, your brain waves slow further into the delta waves of deep sleeptha phase, when growth hormone secretion peaks and physical repair accelerates. Within your cells, remarkable processes of renewal are underway. Damaged proteins are cleared away and replaced. Tissues repair microscopic injuries accumulated during waking hours. Your immune system becomes particularly active, with certain immune cells circulating more efficiently as you sleep. Even your brain's lymphatic system, a recently discovered waste clearance pathway, becomes especially active during sleep, flushing away metabolic byproducts that accumulate during wakefulness. Memory consolidation represents one of sleep's most elegant functions. The experiences and information of your day are replayed and reorganized, with important memories strengthened and integrated into your existing knowledge. This process doesn't occur through conscious effort, but through the quiet, automatic firing of neural circuits as you rest. The hippocampus, your brain's memory center, whispers to the cortex, transferring short-term memories into long-term storage. Through these nocturnal conversations, your breathing changes as sleep progresses, becoming slower and more rhythmic during non-REM sleep, then more variable during REM periods. Heart rate and blood pressure follow similar patterns, generally decreasing during deep sleep. These cardiovascular changes provide much-needed respite for your heart and blood vessels, contributing to sleep's protective effects against hypertension and heart disease. The endocrine system uses these hours of rest to rebalance your bodies. Chemistry. Cortisol levels reach their lowest point around midnight, allowing for immune system activation and tissue repair. Growth hormone secretion peaks during deep sleep, particularly in children and young adults, supporting growth and cellular regeneration. Leptin and ghrelin, the hormones regulating appetite, adjust to reflect your body's true energy needs, helping maintain metabolic balance. Even your dreams, those mysterious nocturnal narratives, may serve important functions. Current research suggests dreaming helps process emotions, solve problems, and integrate difficult experiences. The vivid stories that unfold behind your closed eyelids represent not random firings, but your mind's way of making sense of waking life, a form of overnight emotional digestion. As the night progresses, you cycle through these stages multiple times, with each cycle lasting approximately 90 minutes. The proportion of time spent in each stage shifts gradually, with more deep sleep occurring earlier in the night. This architecture ensures all aspects of restoration receive their due attention. Physical repair prioritized first, then emotional and cognitive processing as dawn approaches. Your body temperature follows its own nocturnal rhythm, dropping slightly as you prepare for sleep and reaching its lowest point in the early morning hours. This temperature dip facilitates sleep maintenance and may enhance the quality of your rest. Similarly, melatonin levels rise with evening darkness, peak in the middle of the night, then gradually decline as morning approaches, a hormonal tide that mirrors your sleep-wake cycle. The healing power of sleep extends to your very DNA. Research indicates that sleep deprivation can alter gene expression related to inflammation, immune function, and stress response. Conversely, sufficient sleep allows these genetic programs to function optimally, maintaining your body's delicate equilibrium. Even at the cellular level, your biology recognizes the importance of this daily restoration. As you hover now between wakefulness and sleep, you can release all effort. Your body knows precisely how to navigate these nocturnal waters. Your breathing will slow further, your muscles will relax more completely, and your mind will gradually surrender to the healing darkness. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, only this gentle descent into restorative rest. The same wisdom that grows your hair, beats your heart, and digests your food now guides you into sleep. Every system we've explored, nervous, circulatory, respiratory, immune, and all others, coordinates seamlessly to make this nightly renewal possible. Your bones release minerals, your muscles repair fibers, your brain consolidates memories, all without your conscious direction. As you cross fully into sleep, remember that you are not switching off, but transitioning into a different state of being. The work occurring within you now is as vital as anything you accomplish. While awake, perhaps more so. Morning will come in its own time, and with it the energy and clarity that only true restoration can provide. For now, there is only this breath, and this one, and the next. Each exhalation carrying you deeper into rest. Each inhalation sustaining the quiet work unfolding within. The night holds you gently as your body performs its ancient rituals of repair, the same rituals that have renewed life since time immemorial. Surrender to this knowing and let sleep carry you where you need to go. As our journey through the human body comes to a quiet close, remember that understanding these intricate systems was never meant to happen all at once. Like the gradual unfolding of dawn, true learning emerges softly in its own time. Whether you consciously absorbed every detail or simply allowed the words to wash over you as you drifted toward sleep, your body has been listening in its own way, remembering, integrating, and making connections beneath the surface of awareness. There is no test to pass, no facts to urgently memorize. The knowledge of how your body works is not a destination, but a gentle conversation that continues across a lifetime. Some concepts may settle into your understanding tonight, while others will reveal themselves gradually, perhaps when you least expect them, during a quiet moment of reflection, or when observing your own breath, or when marveling at your body's quiet resilience. Thank you for allowing this time to turn your attention inward, to appreciate the miraculous, ordinary processes that sustain you. Whether you're a student seeking knowledge, a tired soul seeking rest, or simply someone curious about the quiet wisdom within, may you carry forward a sense of wonder at the biological masterpiece that is your body. As the final words fade, know that it's perfectly all right to release any effort to remember or understand. Your body knows its own workings far better than any conscious mind ever could. The same intelligence that orchestrates your heartbeat, regulates your breath, and repairs your cells will continue its quiet work as you sleep. Wherever this night finds you, whether listening intently or already drifting in that liminal space between wakefulness and dreams, permission is hereby granted to surrender completely to rest. There is nothing more you need to do, nothing more to learn in this moment. The lessons will keep when you return. The wonder will remain. Let your breathing soften now, your eyelids grow heavier, your awareness gently turn inward. The systems we've explored will continue their silent work as you sleep, just as they have every night of your life. Morning will come in its own time, bringing with it whatever understanding and energy you need. For now, there is only this peaceful ending, no fanfare, no final summary, just a gradual softening into silence, like moonlight fading at dawn, like a last conscious thought dissolving into sleep. Rest well, dear listener. Your body has you